What's up YouTube, it's Young Men's Daily Red Pill, back with another upload. I appreciate you guys for clicking on today's video, liking my content, sharing my content, and just spreading this red pill awareness. As you know, my goal is to help you take the red pill as early as possible and become the best version of yourself. So that's my goal here on this channel. Today's video actually, it popped in my head the other day because, as you all know, yesterday was Mother's Day, and I was thinking about my mom and the different women that I see in my life that have children, and how a lot of these mothers, whether it's consciously or it's usually subconsciously, they have a negative effect on the children that they raise without even really noticing it, without even really paying attention to the negative side effects of raising children as a single mom, as a single parent. And what I wanted to talk about was basically, what are the dangers? Why being a mother, being a nice mother, being maybe a 5% mother or a 10% mother or a 10% woman is a danger in today's society and a danger in general when raising children, okay? So I'm going to break down what I believe, at least in my experience, having a mother that I believe is a 10% woman, why and how it has negatively impacted and affected my life growing up, and the choices and decisions that I made were negatively impacted by her and the way she raised me. And what I was taught about life was actually only hurting me instead of helping me. The first danger of having a nice mom is that when you're raised by a nice mom, you expect every woman that interacts with you and comes into your life eventually to be just like her. So you will be around women later on in your future interactions and expect them to be exactly how your mom was and how she treated you and how she carried herself and how she presented herself. If your mom was a good cook, she will be cooking for you. If your mom was submissive in front of your dad, you will expect your mom to be more submissive and not so loud and not so bold. If your mom was a church-going, Christian, godly woman, you would expect the future females that you interact with to be the exact same way and hold themselves as a godly woman would or a religious woman would. There's a downside to that because, as we all know, all women are like that, okay? So we have to understand that, listen, I have a nice mom and she has showed me her good side and her good heart, but I have to realize that not all women are like this, all right? Not all women are good women, and that was a hard thing for me to wrap my head around. It actually really ended up hurting me. And that leads me into my second point, which is your mom will treat you to be nice to women, be kind to women, be chivalrous, because she's not aware of her own nature. She's not aware of the female's nature. All right, guys? As crazy as it sounds, a lot of women come to actually watch red pill content and this type of content to understand themselves and to understand their own nature, because it is confusing. A lot of people are starting to wake up, men and women, but more so even women, because they have no idea what their own nature is and how they've been pre-programmed and wired through feminism, through the media, and it subconsciously actually started to erode in their minds that they can behave a certain type of way, do certain types of things, and that's a normal, even though that's fighting against their nature. Your mom will teach you to be chivalrous, open maybe the door for a woman, always be willing to sacrifice for a woman, lay down your life even for a woman. Unfortunately, your mom doesn't realize that respecting women, being chivalrous, being a nice guy, only gets you burned, only gets you played in the end. It actually works against you as a man in today's society, especially. The nicer you are to her, the more respect she loses for you, and the more power and control she tries to gain over you as a man. But once again, your mom won't realize this because she's not aware. This is why we have women watch red pill content, because they're truly trying to understand their own nature. And we're trying to break it down as logical men and explain it to them so they understand their own nature. The third point I want to make is that our mothers are in a completely different generation than the women we are dealing with now. As an example of a woman that you potentially would want to be with, you have to understand that the women nowadays that we're dealing with that are available for us as men are not good quality women. They're in a different generation, a generation with social media, a generation with third wave feminism. So we have to understand, listen, We're in a position now that's a completely, entirely different generation, and we are actually dealing with some types of masculine females. Females that want control, females that want to be strong and independent, large and in charge. So a lot of us look at our mom and we think we can still find that type of woman out there when she really doesn't even exist. My final point is she envisions you as a man growing up as a little boy to be with someone that is similar to her. It's kind of what I talked about in the third point. She envisions you as a man to be with someone that is similar to her, or the type of girl that she was growing up. All right? So what she will do is maybe even try to set you up with someone in your local community, someone around you, maybe a family friend, because she only sees maybe this girl once in a while, that she has similar traits and characteristics to how she was when she was younger, when in fact she doesn't know about social media and the fact that maybe this girl has an OnlyFans, a premium Snapchat, all these different ways to show off her body. She's attention seeking. There's a whole plethora of things that are hidden and are beneath the surface that parents can't relate to and that parents can't see. So when they set up their young men with these types of females, they're only seeing what these females portray in public, not what goes on behind the scenes, not what goes on the internet. So a lot of times, I know I did this, men will get hooked up with a type of female based on a parent and what they want out of a partner. And then in the end, that ends up hurting the young man or woman that they're raising. You as a man have to understand that when your mom or any parent, any female figure says to be a man, to grow up, to take care of your family, they're literally telling you that they want you to make enough money and have enough resources to be able to provide for your wife, provide for your woman, okay? Completely. That's what they won't tell you, but this is what I'm telling you. This is a red pill truth. So when she tells you that she wants you to grow up and become this type of man, she's literally preparing you to be a slave and to be a provider without her consciously even realizing it. Just because the matrix is so deep and the blue pill has been pushed out since the beginning of time to infiltrate our minds, to corrupt us, and this seeking of knowledge is only now reaching a surface level where it's becoming more and more known on the internet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was kind of enlightening and you could reflect back on maybe your childhood memories growing up with your mothers, and you could kind of look back at some of the points that I made and relate to those, refer back to those, and we could have a conversation in the comment section below, because I thought it would be interesting to bring up basically how being raised by a nice mom is actually really dangerous. And a lot of the things that she taught me growing up, that my nice mom taught me growing up, who I believe was a 10% woman, ended up not preparing me for the real world and how women and female nature truly was. Because if you think about it, you get on the media, you get everywhere you go, blue pill ideologies, blue pill propaganda. It's pushed on you. Treat a woman like this. Look for this in a woman. Always be willing to serve a woman. Put your life before for a woman. Different little things, different blue pills each day. And then guess what? You see your mom at home and she looks like a good woman. She maybe puts on a front that she's managing everything well. She's holding down the household and she's strong and independent. And she's a good woman, quote unquote, what society would hold her to be. But in reality, you're not going to find that woman because she doesn't even understand her true nature, because she hasn't even found herself yet. These are the dangers of being around a nice mom, because you will be completely unprepared when you go out to the real world. And just basing your life and your experiences with your 10% mom or your mom that was not like all the rest of women, you have to understand that was a different generation. That was a different time completely, guys. We're dealing with a whole nother beast, a whole nother animal out here. These are, in my opinion, the true deep dangers of being raised by a nice mom and having a nice mom around. And you can even substitute nice mom for nice women in general, because there's still women in my family from previous generations, different generations, where you would think, man, this is the type of woman that I wish I could have now. And maybe they're still out there, but you have to realize when we're dealing with completely different women nowadays. They're damaged goods. They're not good women, okay? And I want you guys to understand divorce laws are against you. Society is against you as a man. It hurts, but it's true. So I want you guys to protect yourself. I want you guys to continue to self-improve, continue to invest in yourself, control what you can control. Don't try to control what you can't control, which is society and the government. The only way you can control that is in working on yourself and walking away and improving your own life, improving your own situation, so you can make the best of your situation, the best of your circumstances, and we can continue to push this knowledge out, push this wisdom out. And if you want to help me do that, you can drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and you can turn on all bell notifications so you don't miss any more uploads. I heard YouTube's kind of taking away my bell notifications, so if you guys could really just check on that, I would appreciate it, because I do want my message to spread to other men out there. Love you all. Stay blessed. Continue to go your own way.